Have you ever seen people wait for hours in the cold just to buy something they cannot even see? Not a phone, not a concert ticket, not even food. A toy, small, strange, with long ears and 9 sharp teeth. Why? What makes this little creature so powerful that it can stop streets in Paris, cause fights in Seoul, and make millions for a company in China? In this story, we will travel from a tiny shop in Beijing to the bright streets of New York and London. We will meet the artists, the fans, the collectors, and the secret psychology that makes the world fall in love and sometimes lose control. This is the rise of Labubu. And it begins... Chapter 1. The Toy That Stopped the Streets. The street is quiet, too quiet. Then, footsteps. Dozens. No, hundreds of footsteps. It is early morning in Paris. The sun is not even up. But outside a small shop, there is a long, long line. People wear heavy coats. They hold hot coffee in their hands. They wait, and they wait. Why? What could be so important? The same scene is in Los Angeles, in Seoul, in London, in Singapore. Different cities, same lines. In Los Angeles, the police stand nearby. They watch the crowd. They are ready. Why? Because sometimes people fight. In Seoul, a line is canceled. Why? Because there was a fight. A big fight. Something is happening. Something strange. Something big. But it is not a concert. It is not a movie. It is not a new phone. It is a toy. Yes, a toy. But not a normal toy. It is small, soft, and very, very strange. It is called Labubu. Labubu is the size of your hand. It has ears like a rabbit. It has 9 sharp teeth. It looks like it is smiling, but the smile is not friendly. Some say it looks like a happy monster. Labubu does not speak. It does not move. It does nothing. It just sits there. So, why are thousands of people around the world waiting for hours just to buy it? Some pay $50. Some pay $500. Some pay thousands. In the middle of a world with war, with high prices, with people who do not have enough to eat. Why is this little, strange toy making people crazy? Is it magic? Is it fashion? Or is it something else? Let's follow the story. The company that makes Labubu is Chinese. Its name is Pop Mart. Before Labubu, Pop Mart was already famous in China. But Labubu changed everything. It made Pop Mart a global name. Today, Pop Mart is worth more than $40 billion. That is more than some of the biggest toy companies in America. Yes, bigger than Barbie's company, bigger than Monopoly's company, all because of a small, strange toy. But the story did not start here. The story began in a small shop with a young man and one clever idea. That idea would mix business, psychology, and a little bit of mystery. It would change the way people buy toys. It would change the way they feel about toys. And it would start something else, something the company did not expect. An addiction. Back to the street in Paris. The shop opens. The door swings wide. The crowd moves. Some run. Some shout. Some smile. Some cry. Inside, there is a table. On the table, there are small boxes. The boxes are closed. You cannot see inside. The box has a picture. It shows different characters, and one of them is Labubu. But here's the trick. You do not know what is inside your box. You must buy it first, and then open it. Maybe you will get Labubu. Maybe not. If you do not, you buy another box, and another, and another. People cannot stop. They must have it. They must complete the set. This is not just a toy. This is a game, a gamble, and the company knows it. As the boxes disappear from the table, a man shouts, "I got it!" He holds a Labubu in his hand. The crowd cheers and groans. A woman opens her box. It is not Labubu. She sighs. Then, she goes back to buy another one. Outside, a man offers $200 for one box. Someone sells it. And so, the little toy travels from hand to hand and city to city, becoming more famous and more expensive. But how did we get here? How did a simple idea turn into a worldwide storm? And who is the man behind it? To answer that, we must go back to Beijing in the year 2010, to a small shop, to a young man with big dreams. This is where the story truly begins. Chapter 2. A small shop in Beijing. Beijing. The year is 2010. The streets are busy. Buses, bicycles, cars, all moving fast. But in one small street, there is a shop. A tiny shop. It is not famous. It is not beautiful. It is just 30 square meters. Inside, a young man is arranging shelves. His name is Wang Ning. He is only 23 years old. He just finished university. His subject? Advertising. On the shelves, there are pens, phone covers, some makeup, and a few toys. The shop is simple. The customers are few. But Wang is watching. Always watching. One day, he sees something strange. Customers come in. They pick up pens quickly. They choose a phone cover quickly. They pay, and they leave. But when they see the toys, they stop. They pick them up. They turn them in their hands. They smile. They look again. These are not normal toys. They are designer toys, small figures with special art. Cute, but also different. Wang notices something. Customers feel something for these toys. Not like pens, not like phone covers. It is an emotional connection. Wang thinks, if people feel more, they buy more. He writes it down in his notebook. But there is a problem. The shop is not making much money. The rent is high. The costs are high. By 2013, Wang's money is almost gone. The shop may close. Then he has an idea. Two ideas. First, Stop selling many things. Stop the pens. Stop the phone covers. Stop the makeup. Sell only toys. Only the toys that make people feel. Second, sell them in a special way. Sell them in blind boxes. What is a blind box? It is a small, closed box. You cannot see inside. You buy it, open it, and get a surprise. Maybe you get a common toy. Maybe you get a rare toy. It is like a little lottery. It makes your heart beat faster. It makes you want to try again. Wang tests the idea. He puts the toys in blind boxes. He designs nice packaging. He tells customers, "You never know what you will get." People are curious. They buy one. They open it. They smile, or laugh, or sigh. If they don't get the toy they want, they buy another one. The sales go up and up. But Wang is not finished. He wants more. He wants toys no one else has. So he looks for artists, young designers, creative minds. He finds one in Hong Kong. His name is Kenny Wong. Kenny designs a doll called Molly. Big eyes, round face, a little mysterious. Pop Mart. Yes, Wang changes the shop name to Pop Mart. Launches Molly. The fans love her. Sales explode. Now Wang sees the future. It is not just about selling toys. It is about creating a world of characters, a world of collecting, a world where people feel something deep inside. But in 2019, something even bigger will come. A character that will travel the world. A character that will make people wait in the streets, fight for a box, pay thousands. Its name? Labubu. But before Labubu takes over, Wang must build his empire. He must grow Pop Mart from one small shop into a giant. The question is, can he do it? Can a 23-year-old with no toy experience beat the biggest names in the world? In the next chapter, we will see how he finds Labubu and how the world loses its mind. Chapter 3. The Birth of a Giant. The year is 2019, Shanghai. The city lights are bright. The streets are alive. But in one street, something special is about to happen. It is late at night. The shop is closed. Yet, outside, there is a crowd. A big crowd. They wait in the cold. They talk quietly. They look at the door. Why? Because tonight, Pop Mart is about to launch a new toy. A toy no one has ever seen before. A toy that will change everything. The name is Labubu. Labubu is not sweet. It is not beautiful. It is strange. It is unforgettable. It has long ears like a rabbit, a small body soft to touch, a wide mouth with 9 sharp teeth. It smiles, but the smile is dangerous. Some people call it cute. Some people call it scary. Everyone calls it different. Labubu's father is an artist from Hong Kong. His name is Ka-Sing Lung. He draws strange creatures. He loves stories from Nordic folklore, tales of little forest spirits and mischievous goblins. One day, he sketches a small, cheeky creature. He gives it a smile. And those teeth. He calls it Labubu. Pop Mart sees the design. They know this is special. They sign an exclusive deal with Kasing Lung. Labubu will be theirs. And soon, it will be the world's. Back to Shanghai. It is midnight. The shop lights turn on. Inside, the staff prepare the display. On the table, small boxes. No one can see inside the boxes. Each box has a picture, many characters. One of them is Labubu. At exactly midnight, the door opens. The crowd rushes in. Hands grab boxes. People shout. People laugh. 6 minutes later, every single box is gone, sold. 12 million yuan in 6 minutes. The staff are shocked. Wang Ning is smiling. He knows. This is only the beginning. A few weeks later, something starts to happen. In Beijing, people post pictures of Labubu. In Hong Kong, fans make videos of unboxing. In Singapore, collectors pay double the price. Labubu fever is spreading. Then, celebrities join in. Lisa from Blackpink, Rihanna, Dua Lipa, even Kim Kardashian. They post photos with Labubu. Suddenly, the world is watching. By 2024, Pop Mart's sales explode. Labubu alone brings in $425 million. By mid-2025, it is even more. In the United States, sales jump by 5,000% in 1 month. In Paris, the same long lines. In Los Angeles, police watch the crowds. In Seoul, fights break out. People are not just buying a toy. They are chasing a feeling, excitement, surprise, victory. And yet, there is something clever here. You cannot buy Labubu directly. You must buy a blind box. Maybe you get Labubu. Maybe you don't. The only way to be sure is to keep buying. Collectors want the full set, the rare ones, the Holy Grail editions. And so, they buy again, and again, and again. For Pop Mart, this is gold. For fans, it is obsession. For some, maybe addiction. But no one can stop the storm now. In the next chapter, we will open the blind box, not just the toy box, but the box inside our minds. We will see the psychology, the science, the tricks that make people spend without thinking. Labubu may be small, but its power is huge. Chapter 4. Artists and Characters. Before Labubu, there was Molly. Before Molly, there was an idea. Wang Ning knew one thing. If you want people to fall in love with a toy, make the toy a character. A character with a face. A character with a story. A character that feels alive. In the early days of Pop Mart, Wang sold many brands. Small figures from Japan, designer toys from Korea. They were popular, but they were not Pop Marts. Wang wanted something more. He wanted characters that belonged to him, characters only Pop Mart could sell. So he started searching. Not in big companies, not in shiny offices. He looked for artists, real artists, young, creative, hungry for a chance. He traveled. He visited exhibitions. He spoke to designers online. And then, he found one. His name was Kenny Wong, from Hong Kong, quiet, serious. But when he drew, magic happened. One of Kenny's creations was a girl with big round eyes. Her face was pale, her expression calm but mysterious. Her name, Molly. When Wang saw Molly for the first time, he stopped. This is it, he thought. This is the one. They made a deal. Molly would join Pop Mart. Pop Mart would make her famous. In 2016, Molly's first blind box series arrived in stores. Fans loved her. They wanted every version. Molly as a princess, Molly as an astronaut, Molly as a mermaid. Each box was a surprise. Each series told a story. The sales exploded. From a small shop in Beijing, Pop Mart was now a name in every big Chinese city. But Wang didn't stop. He added more artists, more characters, each one different, each one with a style. There was Dimu, a dreamy boy with clouds for hair. Pucky, a magical little creature from the mind of an illustrator. And many more. Every artist brought something new. A new world, a new fan base, a new reason for people to collect. Pop Mart became more than a toy shop. It became a gallery, a place where art and business met. Fans didn't just buy toys. They bought stories. They bought art they could hold in their hands. And then 2019 came. Wang was ready for his boldest move yet. He met another artist from Hong Kong, Ka-Sing Lung. Ka-Sing's art was different. Not cute in the normal way. It was strange, playful, but with a bite. One of his sketches caught Wang's eye. It had long ears, a wide smile, and 9 sharp teeth. This is dangerous, Wang thought. Dangerous, but unforgettable. That sketch became Labubu, and Labubu would take Pop Mart from famous to unstoppable. But before Labubu's storm, the artist's strategy had already worked. Pop Mart was not fighting on price. They were not making cheap toys to sell fast. They were building empires of characters, and every empire had loyal citizens, the fans. Fans didn't just want one toy. They wanted the whole family. Molly next to Dimu, Pucky next to Labubu. Each release was like a movie premiere. People lined up. They waited for midnight sales. They shared photos online. The magic was simple, but powerful. Find artists with unique style. Turn their work into collectible figures. Sell them in blind boxes. The surprise made people buy. The rarity made people chase. The characters made people stay. By the end of 2018, Pop Mart had grown beyond China. Stores opened in Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan. Online sales reached customers in the United States and Europe. But Wang wanted more. He wanted a global icon. A character that would not just be loved in Asia, but in Paris, New York, London. That character was waiting in Ka-Sing Lung's notebook. Labubu was about to step out of the page and into the hands of millions. In the next chapter, we will watch Labubu's first night in Shanghai. A launch so fast, it shocked the whole industry. Chapter 5: The Arrival of Labubu. Shanghai, November 2019. The air is cold. The streets shine with neon lights, and outside one Pop Mart store, there is a crowd. It is not morning. It is not evening. It is midnight. Yet, people are waiting. Some have been here for hours. Some since yesterday. Why? Because tonight is special. Tonight, Pop Mart will release a new character. The name is whispered in the crowd. La Boo Boo. La Boo Boo. For weeks, Pop Mart has shown only small hints. A shadow in a poster. A smile with sharp teeth. Long ears in the dark. Fans have been guessing. What is it? Is it cute? Is it scary? They will find out tonight. Inside the shop, the staff are busy. Boxes are stacked on tables, bright packaging, but you cannot see the toy inside. Each box shows a series of characters. Only one of them is La Boo Boo. And here is the trick. You cannot choose. You buy the box. You open it. You hope. The clock hits midnight. The doors open. The crowd moves fast. Some walk quickly. Some run. Hands reach for boxes. People grab 2, 3, 10. Shouts fill the air. I got one. No, it's not the one. Try again. The sound of tearing boxes, plastic wrapping on the floor, smiles, laughter, and sometimes a small cry of disappointment. Then it happens. A young woman opens her box. She freezes. Her friends look. It's La Boo Boo. She lifts the small creature high in the air. Long ears, wide smile, 9 sharp teeth. The crowd reacts. Some cheer, some groan, some rush back to buy more boxes. 6 minutes later, every box is gone. Sold out. 12 million yuan in 6 minutes. Wang Ning stands at the side. He watches quietly, but inside, he knows. This is the one, he thinks. This is our star. The next day, photos of La Boo Boo fill social media. Collectors post videos of unboxing. Some smile when they find La Boo Boo. Some make sad faces when they don't. Others show shelves full of boxes, dozens, hundreds, a sign of their hunt. In Beijing, another Pop Mart store tries to keep up. Boxes sell out in hours. In Hong Kong, people line up around the block. In Singapore, prices double overnight. And then, something bigger. Celebrities join in. Lisa from Blackpink holds a La Boo Boo in an Instagram photo. Rihanna posts one on her table. Dua Lipa shows her collection. Even Kim Kardashian has one. Every picture makes the craze stronger. By the end of 2020, La Boo Boo is no longer just a toy. It is a symbol. Collectors travel to other cities to find rare versions. Some pay hundreds, even thousands. One giant La Boo Boo, almost human-sized, sells at auction for more than $150,000. For Pop Mart, this is gold. For Wang Ning, it is proof. The artist strategy works, the blind box system works, and La Boo Boo is now a global name. But something else is happening. A new question is growing. Why are people willing to spend so much for something so small? Why can't they stop? Is it just fun? Or is there something deeper? In the next chapter, we will open a different kind of box. Not the box on the table, but the box in our minds. We will see how surprise, rarity, and emotion make us buy. We will see how Pop Mart turns psychology into profit. Labubu is just the face. The real power is in the game. Chapter 6. From China to the World. The storm began in Shanghai. But storms do not stay in one place. By early 2020, Labubu was already traveling. In Beijing, in Hong Kong, in Seoul, the lines were long. Boxes disappeared in hours. But that was only the beginning. Soon, Labubu crossed the ocean. First stop, Japan. Pop Mart opened a store in Tokyo. Fans in Harajuku and Shibuya fell in love instantly. Photos of Labubu appeared in Japanese magazines. Then came Singapore and Thailand. Tourists bought boxes and took them home. Some didn't even open them. They just wanted to say, "I got one." By 2022, the little creature had reached Europe. In Paris, Pop Mart opened a store. It was small, but the lines outside were not. People spoke French, English, Arabic, different languages, same goal. They wanted Labubu. In London, collectors camped outside the shop. Some came at 4 a.m. just to be first in line. When the doors opened, they ran inside. Then, America. At first, the U.S. market didn't understand. Why would anyone pay for a toy they can't see? Some asked. But that changed fast. Unboxing videos began to appear on TikTok and YouTube. Young people laughed and screamed as they opened blind boxes. The lucky ones who found Labubu showed it off like treasure. In just 1 year, U.S. sales of Labubu jumped by 5,000%. It was no longer just an Asian trend. It was a global craze. Celebrities made it even bigger. Lisa from Blackpink posed with Labubu. Rihanna put one in the background of a video. Dua Lipa posted her growing collection. Kim Kardashian showed a rare golden Labubu to her followers. Every photo, every post was like throwing fuel on a fire. Prices began to rise. A $10 blind box could sell for $50, $100, even more. Rare Labubu figures sold for hundreds. The largest, most limited ones sold for thousands. One human-sized Labubu sold at auction for more than $150,000. For Pop Mart, this was more than money. This was proof. Proof that a Chinese brand could create a global icon. For years, China was called the factory of the world. It made products for other brands, but now it was exporting its own culture. Labubu was not just made in China. It was imagined in China. It was born in Chinese art. And now it was loved in Paris, New York, and London. Wang Ning saw the change. In interviews, he spoke about the dream. "We want to bring Chinese designer toys to the world," he said. And now, he was doing it. But success brought new challenges. In some cities, the crowds were too big. Police had to control the lines. In others, fights broke out over the last boxes. Videos of people pushing and shouting spread online. There was also another problem. Some people could not stop buying. They spent too much. They bought more boxes than they could afford. Parents began to complain. Governments began to watch. In China, the discussion grew louder. Blind boxes were fun, but also risky. For children and teenagers, they could be addictive. In 2025, Chinese media reported that officials were thinking about new rules. Pop Mart's stock price dropped for a few days. But around the world, the craze continued. Labubu was now more than a toy. It was a ticket into a club of collectors, a symbol of style, a piece of modern pop culture. People did not just buy it for themselves. They bought it to show others, to post on Instagram, to prove they had something rare. From Shanghai to New York, from a small artist's sketch to a $40 billion company, Labubu's journey was unstoppable. But the question was, why? Why did people in so many countries with different languages and cultures all want the same thing? Was it just the design, the rarity, the marketing, or was something deeper happening in the human mind? In the next chapter, we will open that door. We will see how psychology, the science of the mind, makes people buy. We will see how surprise, scarcity, and emotion can turn a small toy into a global obsession. Chapter 7. The Psychology of the Blind Box. Why do people wait in the cold for hours just to buy a box they cannot see inside? Why do they spend $10, then $20, then $100, and still want more? The answer is not just because it's cute. The answer is in the mind. The blind box is more than a package. It is a game, a gamble, a small legal form of risk, wrapped in colorful paper. When you hold it in your hand, your heart beats a little faster. What's inside, you ask? You cannot know until you open it. This is the first secret. Mystery. Mystery makes the brain curious. Curiosity makes you want to act. And when you act, when you open the box, you get a reward. Sometimes, the reward is big. You find the rare one. You feel joy, pride, victory. Sometimes, it is not the one you wanted. You feel a little disappointment. But here is the trick. That disappointment does not stop you. It makes you try again. Psychologists call this a variable reward. It is the same system used in casinos. You pull the slot machine. You might win, you might lose, and that maybe makes you pull again. Pop Mart didn't invent this, but they use it perfectly. The second secret: scarcity. Not every toy is common. Some are rare. Some are very rare. Some are almost impossible to find. When something is rare, the brain gives it more value. It becomes special. It becomes something you must have, even if you don't need it, even if you didn't want it before. The third secret: completion. Humans love to finish sets, books on a shelf, episodes of a series, and toys in a collection. Once you start, your brain wants to see it complete. Even one missing piece feels wrong. Pop Mart knows this. Every blind box series shows the full set on the back. Each missing character becomes a hole you want to fill. The fourth secret: social proof. We look at others to decide what is good. When we see people buying, we want to buy too. When we see celebrities holding Labubu, we want to hold one too. Social media makes this stronger. Photos, videos, unboxing clips. Each one says, "Look, this is valuable." Your brain listens. The fifth secret: instant reward. The world is full of slow rewards, diets, jobs, savings. They take months, years. But the blind box gives you something now. Open it. Feel the excitement. In seconds. This is dangerous. The brain starts to chase the quick feeling, again and again. Put all these secrets together: mystery, scarcity, completion, social proof, instant reward, and you have a powerful machine. A machine that makes people buy without thinking. A machine that can turn a $10 toy into a $40 billion empire. But there is a dark side. Some people cannot stop. They spend too much. They borrow money. They feel guilty, but keep buying. In China, parents began to worry. Officials began to talk. Blind boxes, they said, can be addictive, especially for young people. Pop Mart's stock price even dropped for a while. But the sales kept going. Why? Because these psychological buttons are deep in all humans. It does not matter if you are in Beijing or Paris, Tokyo or New York. We all love the mystery. We all want the rare one. We all like to show what we have. We all enjoy the quick win. Labubu is not just a toy. It is a mirror. It shows us how our own minds can be played like a game. And the game is not over yet. In the next chapter, we will see the shadow of success, the concerns, the criticism, and the risk that the Labubu craze could collapse if the magic breaks. Chapter 8: Concerns and Controversy. Every success has a shadow. Every light makes a darker line behind it. Labubu's light was bright, too bright, and soon the shadows appeared. In the beginning, it was only joy, people smiling, sharing photos, collecting with friends. But slowly, new stories began to appear. Stories that didn't feel happy. A mother in Beijing. She holds a pile of empty boxes. She says her teenage son spent all his pocket money and more on blind boxes. He didn't eat lunch for a week. He wanted to save for just one more try. A student in Shanghai. She laughs nervously in an interview. "I bought 20 boxes," she says, "and still no rare Labubu." Her credit card bill is high. She doesn't know how she will pay it. This was the dark side of the game. The side no company wants to talk about. Pop Mart had created something exciting, but excitement can become addiction. In China, parents started to complain. Teachers noticed students trading boxes instead of studying. Some kids cried in class because they didn't get the figure they wanted. The media began to ask questions. Are blind boxes safe for children? Should they be legal? Then, the government noticed. In June 2025, the People's Daily, China's official newspaper, published a warning. Blind boxes, it said, can create addictive behavior, especially for minors. It asked for new rules, limits on sales, more protection for young buyers. The effect was quick. Pop Mart's stock price dropped more than 3% in Hong Kong. Investors were nervous, but Pop Mart said they were following the law. They added age 15 plus on some products. They talked about responsible collecting. Still, the storm was growing. In other countries, there were different concerns. In Paris and Los Angeles, the problem was crowds, lines too long, people pushing, fights breaking out when stock was low. Police were called to keep the peace. Videos of shouting and chaos spread online. Some people shook their heads. All this for a toy? There were also whispers inside the industry. Could the craze end suddenly? What if people lost interest? Would Labubu be remembered or forgotten like other trends? Pop Mart knew the risk. They had to keep the magic alive. New designs, limited editions, special events. But the more they fed the fire, the more the questions grew. Some experts in consumer psychology warned about the burnout effect. When people buy too much, too fast, the excitement fades. Collectors stop, markets crash. It had happened before, with Beanie Babies, with fidget spinners, with Pokemon cards in some countries. Would Labubu be next? And yet, for every warning, there were still thousands of happy fans. Fans who waited in the rain for a midnight release. Fans who met friends through collecting. Fans who said the toys gave them comfort in hard times. One young woman in Seoul said, "When I'm stressed, I open a box. Sometimes I get Labubu, sometimes not. But for a moment, I smile." This is the truth about the shadow. It does not erase the light. It only makes the picture more real. Labubu was still loved, but Pop Mart now had to balance two worlds, the joy of collecting and the dangers of obsession. And somewhere in Beijing, Wang Ning was thinking about the future. He had built an empire from art and surprise. He had taken a Chinese toy to the world. But could he keep it alive without letting the shadow grow too big? In the next chapter, we will step back. We will look at the bigger picture, what Labubu means for China, for the toy industry, and for how trends move across the world. Because this little creature might be the start of something much bigger than a toy. Chapter 9. The Bigger Picture. Labubu is small. It fits in your hand. But its story is huge. It started in an artist's sketchbook. It grew in a small shop in Beijing. And now, it walks the streets of Paris, New York, Tokyo, and London. How did this happen? And what does it mean? For many years, the world called China the factory, a place that made toys, clothes, electronics for other brands. The products left the factory, but the culture stayed behind. Labubu changed that. It was not just made in China. It was imagined in China. It came from Chinese artists, Chinese stories, Chinese design. And people around the world didn't just buy it. They loved it. This is the bigger picture. Labubu is a sign that China can create global trends. It can export ideas, not only products. It can send a piece of its culture into the hands and hearts of people in other countries, but it is also a sign of something else, something about us. Why did millions of people in different languages, different cities, different lives want the same little creature? Because Labubu's story speaks to something human. The joy of surprise, the pull of rarity, the fun of collecting, the pride of owning something special. These feelings are not Chinese. They are not French or American or Japanese. They are human. And that is why the blind box worked everywhere. It spoke to the mind and to the heart. Still, we must remember the shadow. Trends can be beautiful, but they can also be dangerous. Too much buying, too much chasing, too much pressure to have what others have. The Labubu craze showed how fast excitement can grow, but also how fast it can go too far. For Wang Ning, the future is a balance. He must keep the magic alive without letting the shadow grow. He must give fans new joy without feeding dangerous habits. This is not easy, but it is possible. For other countries, Labubu is also a lesson. If a small shop in Beijing can make a $40 billion brand, what could a shop in Cairo do? Or Casablanca? Or Amman? If Chinese artists can send their characters into the world, why not Arab artists? Why not African artists? Why not Latin American artists? The world is ready for more stories, more ideas, more culture from everywhere. The question is, who will take the chance? Who will be brave enough to turn a sketch into a storm? And for us, the collectors, the fans, the dreamers, the lesson is also clear. We must enjoy the things we love, but we must not let them control us. We can chase the joy of surprise. But remember, the most valuable things we own are not always in a box. Labubu's journey is not over. Maybe it will last for decades. Maybe it will fade. But its story, from a sketch to a global craze, will be remembered. Because it showed the world something important. A small thing can have a big impact. A small idea can travel far. And a small creature with a strange smile can open a door for an entire culture. And now, as you close this story, ask yourself, what is your Labubu? What idea, what creation, what dream could you share with the world? Could it be the next thing that people line up for? The next thing that crosses oceans? The next thing that makes history?